character certainly is an issue that's so on the front burner for so many voters. But I think, too, that those of us who try to be well-educated and well-informed, we're warned, don't just listen to the debates, because there will be fact-checking afterwards, and both sides got facts wrong last night. They say don't listen just to the campaign ads, and there's just a lot more research and a lot more self-education, as you were pointing out, that goes into this. You agree?
Yes, I do. So, you know, some people say, why don't they sue them for libel? It's almost impossible to libel
Such a
presidential candidate, and they wouldn't want to take the time to sue them because that would be such a distraction.
Well put. All right, let's see. We've got another call from Richard. Richard, you have an opinion about last night's debate. Go ahead. Richard, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, I think Obama got the thing last night because he took the time and patience to answer and to call McCain on his errors and lies. And he just keeps his cool. You know, he's collected. I'd want somebody like that in charge of all the things that we have to do, not someone who's going to lose their temper or whatever.
All right, Richard, thanks for your call. Richard seems to like his style. That is huge with a lot of voters. A lot of people last night wanted to see McCain, frankly, get angry, but they didn't want him to come off too angry. I heard that a lot. And then, again, Obama playing it cool during the debate. People tend to like that, it seems. People who are looking for somebody to vote or who already know they're voting for him. So.
And I think Obama went into that with that being his top goal, to be calm and collected, and that was more important than what he actually said at some point.
All right, Tracy, thanks. Well, coming up next on Political Radar, we're going to look at state and local campaigns for you as well, and we'll continue to take your questions and comments. 483. Welcome back to Political Radar. I'm Linda Jackson. Let's switch gears just a bit right now. Indiana's junior Senator Evan Bayh stopped in Fort Wayne today, hosting his 6th annual job fair and small business summit at IPFW. But the hot topic, it seems, was not the 500 jobs available at that job fair. Instead, everyone seemed to want to talk about how to keep small businesses, which account, if you didn't know this, for 97% of all companies in the state of Indiana, from folding, sending more people to the unemployment line.
If we want to grow Indiana's economy, we've got to focus on small business. That's where the innovation and growth is taking place. And the biggest things that are affecting small business, cost of health care, access to capital, employee training. The big companies can budget for that. Small companies have a harder time struggling to make ends meet. We've got to reallocate our focus and our resources toward helping the people who need it most, and that's the small and medium-sized companies.
Senator Bayh went on to say when small businesses apply through the administration for a loan, the government will back those loans and waive any fees that go along with the loans, making it easier, perhaps, to expand. Republican incumbent Governor Mitch Daniels may have a slight lead in the polls, but his spending advantage over Democratic challenger Jill Long Thompson seems to be a much wider gap. A campaign finance report released yesterday has Daniels spending almost $13 million on his bid for re-election. Long Thompson has reportedly spent about $3.5 million. Recent polls have Daniels maintaining a lead over Long Thompson. We're going to get right back to your calls as Tracy Warner from the Journal-Gazette joins us right now. Tom, you've been holding on the phone for a while. We really appreciate it. What's your question or comment, Tom?
Yes. I watch Jim Laird quite regularly, and on Tuesday and Wednesday, they showed a picture of Obama, and he had all the American flags behind. But in the midst of the American flag was one flag, was a circle, a red circle, like I'm a Army veteran, like they had in the Far East. And I called Tracy today on the phone.
Okay.
Said maybe he could look at it.
Tracy, did you get a chance to look at it?
I wasn't able to do that, and I'm not really sure what that was. Hopefully the American flags were above all the others, or taller than the others.
Well put. And Tom, do you remember where the video was that you saw Obama in this video? Okay, he's gone. So Tom, we do appreciate your call. Sarah's been on the line for a little while. Sarah wants to talk about the congressional race. Sarah, are you there?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I am here.
Hey, thank you so much for calling. What's your question or comment, Sarah?
Well, my first comment is compliments to Mr. Warner for his analysis of the debate. He was very unbiased, and he gave us an accurate debate that was, an accurate analysis that was right in line with a lot of the analysis I saw last night.
I promise you that he works very hard to to do and say the right things. So.
I'm sure he does. He's a good guy. But what I wanted to comment on was the congressional debate, the congressional race between Montagano and Souder, and that is we have to evaluate each one on what their positions are and how they will do that in Washington, D.C. I take offense at Mr. Souder's ad that Montagano is too new and inexperienced to go to D.C. because several years ago, Mr. Souder was just in that very same position.
Yes, Sarah.
And so most congressmen, when they start out as new people. So we have to look at positions and not inexperience and newness.
Sarah, thanks so much for your comments. She brings up a point. We finally got a one-on-one interview with Mike Montagano yesterday. He brought up that very, very same point. Don't worry about how old I am. I'm old enough to run for this office. And he said, you know, judge me more on what I feel about the issues. So would you care to add a little bit more to what Sarah said?
It's amazing that this looks like it is going to be a contested race, and that Mark Souder could be vulnerable this year is kind of a surprise. And he's going to go on the attack on Montagano, and Montagano is 27. And I think that's one of the things that the congressman is going to raise, either implicitly or possibly kind of refer to.
A lot of people feel it's a reflection of the National Party affiliation, and he's riding some coattails. Well, stay with us. Much more Political Radar when we... I've got you on the line, and what is your question or comment?
Hello.
Hi, Brenda. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
Good, you?
Good. I just have a comment and statement to make about the debate. Number one, a job well done for Senator Obama. And I think we need a president, just like someone else stated, that listen and actually is calm. Because a call earlier stated that basically that Senator Obama wasn't answering any questions or anything. But the last night they became basically one of the apology during the whole debate. That's what he wanted. So I would just like to say job well done to Senator Obama.
Brenda, thank you very much for your call. We appreciate it. Mike, you've been on the line for a little while. Let's take your question or comment. I understand you're a new voter, Mike?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I am. This is about the second time I've voted in my life, and I'm an independent voter, and I haven't made up my mind yet, but I really like Obama so far. But what I want to know is, the Congress people or the president get taxpayers, they pay for these the president, right? Out of the taxpayers' money. Why can't they donate some money back to the poor people?
You bring up a good question, I think, Mike. Thanks for your call. And I think people look at almost every single issue that's out there right now that is hot button, and people say, why don't the people with more just give to the people who have less?
Hundreds of millions of dollars in these races.
Yeah.
And in some ways the money does seem kind of obscene. Now, Obama this year did turn down the taxpayer financing of his campaign because there are limits on how much you can spend. He thought he could raise more than that and has. So in this campaign, Obama did not take the taxpayer money.
A lot of people, too, say to themselves, why does it require so much money to run for such a high office in this country? Have we gotten ourselves into something that's just way over our heads, or?
Well, you know, but every time we try to control it, and John McCain himself tried to control it, it seems like they open up bigger loopholes.
Pandora's boxes.
But you spend money to get the word out on polls, on advertising. That, you know, obviously they have big campaign staffs. Obama has a huge staff. And some of those people do want to be paid, so it does take money to run a campaign.
They need to be paid, and the way I understand it, he gets most of his campaign money through the internet solicitations. Is that correct? Still, to this day. All right, Tracy. Thanks for all your calls, everybody. We certainly appreciate it each and every night here on Political Radar. We'll be back. All right, everyone. Sometimes with such a heated political campaign, this presidential race is hot. All right? So we need a lighter moment. Every now and then we need a lighter moment. So take a look at this, Tracy. This is a promo picture from the next season of Dancing with the Stars. Okay, maybe it's not, but wow, that plus Tina Fey's rendition of Sarah Palin. These things are providing a tad bit of entertainment during this campaign. What do you think? Can you believe what they can do with computers these days?
Fun with Photoshop, I believe.
Fun with Photoshop. Makes you wonder what they would say about that. Do you wonder what they say? They have to just brush off so much all the time, don't they? These candidates?
They do. If you let it get to you, it would just be it would be too much.
Let's see. Thick skin required.
Yes, definitely.
Check. That wraps up Political Radar for tonight, everyone. We're back tomorrow night at 7:30 with an all-new edition. We definitely hope to hear from you.